Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Ed Martin here in a Pro America Report. Visit proamericareport.com. Get signed up for the daily email. You want to be there. Find out lots of more stuff there. proamericareport.com. I promised earlier, in fact, I was over on Periscope. If you want to have some fun, come over to Periscope. At Eagle Ed Martin is on Twitter. Periscope is their live streaming app, and I do some talking over there with some folks that come on. And I was reminding them and telling them I was going to talk about polls. But first, let me set this up for you. I've been wondering for a long time when and if we would see some of the fake newsers to start to hedge their bets, because they've been publishing and talking about how Trump's lost ground in the polls and how bad this is. And I don't see any evidence of that. I'm talking about evidence like people changing their positions. I don't think I'm living in a total bubble. Maybe I am, but I don't think so. I've never met someone who said, you know what gets me excited every morning is I get up and I think of Joe Biden as president. There's nobody like that. Just like there was nobody really excited about Hillary. She tried to get women excited for her, and it didn't really work. But there's tons of people that are fired up for Trump. So I haven't seen the barrage of polling data that's quoted by all the fakers, the fake news. I haven't seen that or felt that. So I've been wondering, though, and I should have told you this to watch for it. I've been wondering, but I'm going to connect the dots for you. I've been wondering when some of the fakers, the fake news, would start to hedge their bets, because they got to know in their gut that there's a problem with Biden as their candidate. He's not strong enough. He's not charismatic. It's all these things. Well, in the last 4 days, and one thing I tell you is watch for patterns. Watch for patterns. I've been coaching you on the patterns of the Wall Street Journal periodically running sort of legitimate big-name leaders who try to soften you and me about the Cold War with China. Richard Haas did one. Robert Zelnick did another columns where they say, oh, there's no second Cold War. I've been telling you, that's the Wall Street Journal and the sort of big money trying to say, no, don't fight with China. We like the markets. And I've been coaching you on that. Here's another one. In Politico.com, which leans left and center left, really, and they try to be somewhat serious and report, and it's useful. But I mean, you have to know and not trust it. But it's sort of useful. And so about 4 days ago, and I'll put both of these stories up, Politico ran a piece. And it said, what maybe out there in the normal land, we're thinking about a landslide. And you're like, what? And the whole article, lengthy article, was a Politico reporter, a couple of reporters, talking to folks out in the states, Republicans and others, and saying to each other, maybe this isn't going to go the way we thought. Maybe Trump is going to win. And so you have some of these county chairs in certain key counties, and they're saying, I'm not seeing any loss of Trump enthusiasm. In fact, quite the opposite. And so this article, lengthy article, and when you read it, you thought, that's counter to what Politico's been telling us. Politico's been coaching us that Trump's a dead man walking. And I thought, okay, that's the beginning of their proverbial journalistic tale, so they can point back to these stories. Well, another one ran today. And the one today is, it says that, and this is totally true also, but a Politico lengthy piece. And it says that Trump has a point about the polls. And it goes on, and it's written by a guy named Stephen Shepard. And it says that Trump is saying that his polls, they don't make sense. It doesn't seem right. And they're underestimating it. And then the author says he has a point. And he goes on to say that pollsters haven't figured out what's going on. In my experience in 2016, on election day, I was in the election and I was there. I was in New York for the election. I was doing interviews and I was constantly being barraged with this line. They were saying, oh, you're supporting Trump. He's getting killed in the polls. Your guy's going to lose. And my standard answer was this. It was a very simple answer. It was, I'm from Missouri. I was chairman of the party. And Missouri polling says he's going to win by 4. I think he's going to win by a lot more than that. And he won by 19. And so my point here is that I don't think anything has changed. Anything has changed dramatically. I don't think anything has shifted to make you think much different about polling. But back to my point. The Politico is starting to cover their tail on what this means. In other words, they know. See, the media knows. The fake news knows. They actually know what's going on. They know that there's no enthusiasm for Biden. They know he's not able to communicate and isn't up for the job. They know Trump's got this massive data machine. And they're desperately trying to find ways to drive down Trump. And they're doing what I've told you before that we have to do with each other on the economy and other things, which is part of it is psychology. Be upbeat about what's happening because we know the good things that are possible, and they start to happen. And if you be drumbeat negative on everything, that starts to fill in. That starts to fill in who you are, and so that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing and paying attention to in when you see these stories on Politico. If you connect the dots, so wait for me to help you connect the dots. But when you do, you got to understand what's going on. That's the seeds of doubt. Those are the cracks in the mainstream media and the mainstream elites' Democrat plan to win this election. So watch that. We'll talk again. We're going to talk tomorrow about their threats about election problems and how real that could be in terms of the mail-in balloting and other things. We'll talk about that. All right. We got to run, though. Thank you for paying attention to this important stuff. Go to proamericareport.com to sign up. Thank you, as always, to Noah for his great work and Joanna for her great work. We'll be back tomorrow. It's Ed Martin here on the Pro America Report. Talk to you then.